Hello guys, sorry for the long wait, but for some reason I never had enough time left over to do this, so only today I finally got up and decided to talk over my last recordings again. In case you've forgotten, this is still a long-running multiplayer game of Dominions 4, a fantasy strategy game, and this particular game was over by it must have been almost a year now. Yeah, that's a lot of time. The screenshot LP running together with this one is also over now, so I'm just going over my last turns now and post them, and then this let's play will be finished too. As you can see, I'm still doing what I've done most of the game, marching overly huge armies around, scripting mages and stuff, and of course I've slowly started to cast this one peculiar, yeah, I think that's the right word, spell to use air gems to summon a special kind of undead, basically more versions of Frankenstein's monster. And with every turn I have more and more mages ready to use the spell and some additional gimmicks, magical items to get more of those corpses than they normally should. So in essence then I set those mages to autocast that summon spell as soon as you're ready, and as you can see, as you just saw, there are already about 90 of them. And we have another Tartarian Spirit, thanks to another expensive spell, who is a lot more useful in a normal game, since in a normal game it's harder to just swamp those giant monsters with hundreds and hundreds of units, like we can do here. Garth, that's with this flesh colored with red border flag you can see here, uses his giant armies of vampires to fight Fantasy Russia Bogarus. That's the blue flag with red border you can see in the west side, just under my giant stack of commanders. And we are at war with them, and the game is at this point nearly over. Well, right now it looks like we can slowly crush Bogarus, and then that's it. Basically there is Pangea to the east. They're basically all about nature and stuff, but that player has mentally checked out at this point and isn't doing anything anymore, so it's basically just me and Garth. And even though at this point, as I made the recording, I was still fantasizing about maybe snatching the victory from Garth with some fancy fast maneuvering, but sadly I'm someone who is rather slow in maneuvering, and making plans is more fun than actually executing them for me. So what actually will happen here is that Garth will basically easily win. Of course, the funny thing is, with Pangea doing nothing, something I totally forgot at the time. Well, let's recap. There are drones. You can see them here, beautifully listed, with flags for those who are already claimed. And as you can see, we need 25 points, and if you look at the numbers in the right column, none of us has enough right now. But if you take those of Pangea, the unclaimed ones, and Garth's own, then you get the right amount of points pretty damn fast. And those drones, if you get enough points, you win, which is a lot better than Dominions 3 and its the last man standing wins, because that actually almost never happened. Instead, one by one, the players would give up. Whoever was playing the last was basically winning by default. That kind of torture luckily fell out of the game with part 4, which is why we have now this strange throne system, and the host can set up thrones however he or she wants, with level 3, 2 and 1 thrones, and how many points you need to win the game. And that's basically it. So, and now you hopefully had some time to also see those statistics. I wanted to show you. Too bad I can't just talk about everything I want at the same time, but I'm guessing that Core of Madness wouldn't be something nice or even comprehensible to listen to. So there's an Undead Lich, something I will be summoning soon too. So anyway, let's talk strategy. My main goal right now is to crush as much as possible of Bogarus. Ah yes, very funny Ramp. It's the name of the player. So anyway, where was I? Ah yes, more and more magic completed. Yeah, that's inevitable if the game runs long enough. Here I'm looking through some spells I could probably use and deciding what would be best to direct my research to. And I'm slowly deciding that I should research Lichcraft sooner or later, because a Lich is an even better undead commander I can summon. Even better than my weird level 3 death guys. Wow, by now I've already forgotten how they are called. Mount something. Mount Fiends, that was the name. More unrest here, destroyed lab there. Yeah. For some reason we are rather unlucky, even though Relp. It's probably because so many different dominions are seeping into our territory from all sides. Mostly of course Garv, because Garv uses blood sacrifices to push his dominion. It's of course against Bogarus, but since we can't use blood sacrifice, we instead have to have tons and tons of priests to counteract this, which we are rather doing badly. As you can see, a lot of black candles at our borders, slowly marching in. If it weren't for my many priests and my pretender spreading our own dominion in the south, I would be in real trouble by now. But, well, I already told you, basically, if it's a go, magic power, fire, combat power on the battlefield, and so Garv could easily crush us by now, and our only chance to even get close to victory is to continue bashing in Bogarus until I get an opening to collect more thrones. Well, in the next Cupel videos you will see how good that plan worked. Anyway, strategically, I'm still trying to create some kind of army on the east, because sooner or later I want to take that throne away from Pangea, even though at the time I wasn't really sure if I should do it, because if he was still around that would be breaking our alliance, but if he was degraded to the point where he didn't care, then obviously it would just be the thing to do. Around this time I was basically waffling around a lot. Yeah, tons and tons of units All of them unscripted, just a giant stack in the middle of the field. That obviously can't stay that way. Here I'm deciding that some new commanders are needed. Some Raven Lords, nope. Holy shit, I did spend a lot of time just thinking here. Ah, a battle. We got one of Garth's fortresses, and we killed even a lot of his mages, basically by just overwhelming them with our nearly 700 units. Normally those... oh, he had nearly 400 himself. Most of them, at least some of them, were at one point our own units, taken over by one of his magical super golems. But it looks like this time we attacked when he wasn't ready to just magic us back. So here is the enemy stack, mind controlled units of us, and his cavalry. Now the mind controlled units attack, of course, and get then now slowly mowed down by our elite blocks of infantry. And now we all hit each other with magic. One of my mages cast Storm, and now my mages will soon get to the point where they can rain thunder strikes down on the enemy. And while Never Darts are a nice little spell, especially good against magic units, I have no idea why these operatives aren't scripted to do the same thing I do. Bring up Storm and then try to thunder strike me. I mean, there are air mages who have Astral, so even without Storm, theoretically they could just create a bunch of mini communions and then do a lot of damage just because Thunderstrike is a real good combat spell, especially against a huge army like mine. Instead, we are the ones who are, strangely enough, powering up and then let loose with tons of Thunderstrikes. Of course, our stack of air mages takes a bit longer since we need to use summon storm power before we are strong enough to cast Thunderstrike. And even then we can only cast it a couple of times before all my mages get sleepy. But another time, every single one of my air mages can cast a Thunderstrike, whereas those occultists, well, there are 14, let's say 2 go to slave mode for everyone who wants to cast. Or I would say 4 casters for Thunderstrikes. Well, still a lot, especially since my huge blocks are easily hit. But instead, what happens here is my mages rain down Thunderstrikes, and some of my support mages use their own spells, and this means that after breaking our mind-controlled counterparts, we are now breaking enemy cavalry, and then the battle is basically over. And since the enemy mages can't run anywhere, this naturally means they will all be killed. In fact, the enemy army already counts as broken. It's just that since the huge wall is in the way, there is still a little chance of just holding our units for long enough to make us root. Well, you've seen the message at the beginning, about how the combat went, so it's probably not a spoiler to tell you that that will not be what is going to happen. Instead, we're hammering down some more of Bogarus cavalry, and then we're cutting down some Bogarus mages. Most of those Never darts are not hitting anything, and in the beginning they mostly hit their own units. Yeah, Never darts are theoretically a nice little spell, but they're hilariously bad if you're trying to defend your fortress like this. Still, it's kind of nice to see that either this storm was a total surprise for Bogarus, or he just wrote those mages off as necessary casualties. After all, we are in a game where mental strength and fortitude is used up simply by scripting tons of mages and armies everywhere. Oh, now they're fully broken. Now our own Thunderstrikes hit mostly us, because there are just that many more of our units. Some enemy cavalry get choked to death because they can't run away, and the rest runs off. And then my flying units come in and massacre every mage. Now that's nice. Now we just have to wait until enemy units are all dead or gone. Now just some surviving cavalrymen and some Thunderstrikes killing our own units, and there's still something alive from the enemy? Nope. Nope, the battle is over now. And that was how we got the fortress in Bogiton. Grey Barrier. 345 enemy units dead, including 16 mages, and we lost 93 units and 0 mages. That was a total victory for our side. Up, nice. And I have no idea why Ramp didn't script those mages better. I'm guessing I'm either missing something really obvious, or he really did write those poor guys off as useless something. Oh well, turn is already over. Well, until next time, Libluini signs off.